And I think now we can kind of go into our post grad diet nutrition experiences. I know I kind of want to hear about how do you go. So you finished football, whether you're 230, 240, and then you went to under 200. How'd that experience go? How'd that whole process go?
Yeah, so let's get this straight. I was 242 pounds. So
Okay, big body.
yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, I did lose a little bit, but once I got to Kentucky, I started bulking again. I got up to like 242, 241 regularly. But yeah, so basically, and this is something that I kind of want to touch on. It goes kind of like with mental health. I was always that bigger kid growing up. I was always considered the big kid. I was never
Mhm.
like super fat, but I was definitely husky. You know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah,
definitely
that big bone.
yeah, right. I've heard that so many times in my life, and
Oh
I
yeah.
hate that saying. It's just a nice way of saying you're fat, buddy. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I
I
was
still
always
get
like
it.
I was always the bigger guy, and as much as I liked being bigger because I was much taller as well, but I was also considerably heavier than most of my peers. And I noticed this around third grade. I noticed I was big. And what are
Mhm.
you, how old are you in third grade? Like
I
eight?
think 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So like 8 years old, I'm already noticing like I'm getting a little self-conscious. By fourth grade, I was a kid that always wanted to wear a shirt in the pool. That's just
Oh
who I
yeah.
was. And I love my brother. I love my brother's friends now. But back in the day, it really took a toll on me. Mentally, I was definitely mentally scarred from a young age just by being
Hmm.
teased.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people can connect with this. And like I said, I wasn't even that big, dude. But just being teased about it repeatedly, like it got into my head. Um, my brother, my sorry, I'm coming after my brother a little bit. But
That's all right.
it's just because it's bickering between brothers. He used to call me Snack Shack, and it used to bother me to the fullest. Like I'll get so mad. And looking back on it, it's funny
Mm.
now. But like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just being bullied and stuff like that, and um, it really did take a toll on me. So when I decided that I wanted to play football, fast forward about 10 years in the end of my junior year of high school, I was like, well, at this point I was starting to get skinnier and I was feeling better about myself. Da, da, da. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna put back on weight because I need to for football. So I did, and a lot of those kind of emotions came back to me once I started putting on the weight, especially once I did it super fast. I got really self-conscious again, especially because I knew the weight that I put on wasn't the best. A lot of it was muscle, but a lot of it was fat as well. So I kind of got back to that husky, big boned look, and I hated it, dude. I absolutely hated it. I got up to like 265 freshman year, especially after I broke my foot. I was really heavy, um, all of that, and it kind of just it took another toll on me, and it was kind of like to the point where I loved football, but I was struggling so hard mentally with just being that big and not comfortable with my body from that scarring from such a young age. And it sounds crazy, but like, dude, it's body dysmorphia is what it is. And so I definitely, you know, once I finished football, that post grad that we're talking about, I couldn't
Hmm.
wait to get back down and wait. I couldn't wait. So like I
Yeah.
went full blown. Um, Results motivated me. Any single result I saw, it was motivating. I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is what I've been waiting for. I had a solid foundation of muscle on my body. So like I probably had 225 pounds of fat-free mass on my body.
Yep.
So like once I got down to 225, I was already shredded and like I had a bunch of muscle too. So um the results motivated me. And then I just kind of like kept wanting to push. And I did this like for a while, like after I was already at my goal, I was like, no, I got to see how far I can keep going just because of that mentally, like I was addicted to it. And it was like
Yep.
that mental scarring that just like kind of took over me. I was like, no, I need to see how far I can go. I can go farther. I can go far. I can
Hmm.
struggle. I can suffer for a little bit longer. And
Yeah.
I definitely overdid it 100%. And I got down to like 195 pounds. Um, and that was a number I never thought I would see again in my life. So I definitely overdid it. I affected my thyroid. I affected my testosterone a lot. These are things that I dealt with for a while. I'm just starting to get back healthy again to a
Hmm.
healthy body fat percentage, and I'm recovering the thyroid and the testosterone because I definitely did damage on them. doing it all naturally. So, yeah, that was kind of my story, dude. It definitely stemmed from mental scarring and bullying and teasing from a young age. And I think it's super important that people do listen to this and, kind of connect with it, because you're not alone out there. A lot of people struggle with it, and body dysmorphia is super real. And it's something that I struggle with today, putting back the weight on, dude, because I'm scared to death of body fat. Like, I don't want to see body fat on, you know what I mean? So, like, saying that I'm on a lean bulk, it is a super, super long lean bulk. Like, it is going slow, but I'm still making progress. And I can say
Yeah.
that I'm making progress, which is good. But it is severe because I wake up every day and I'm so food conscious because I don't want to put on fat. You know what I mean? It's body
Yeah.
dysmorphia, and it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely crazy. But
No, I think it's really good you talked about it. I think people can take a lot away from that. From just yeah, I mean, just starting from a young age, how much that impacts you, no matter what age you are, and recognizing that kids can get impacted from just being made fun of if they're a little chubby, is really important to understand. And then I think another thing is, if you're having these feelings like Zach, or I've dealt with these myself, talk to and the people are encouraging you to gain weight, talk to them about why it's hard for you. Some guys are just can put on 20 pounds in 2 months, and the coaches tell them to gain weight and they're like, all right, I'll gain weight. And then some other guys, they struggle to gain weight, and then the coaches look at him and say, this guy's lazy, he doesn't want to gain weight, he doesn't want to do this, he's not for the team. But
I've dealt with
really,
that, dude.
yeah, and I've seen it. But in actuality, it's not that you're selfish. It's not that you don't care about the team. It's not that you don't want to gain weight. You do want to gain weight, but you've had those past experiences where you've dealt with being made fun of, and it can happen in the locker room too. And you don't want that to happen again. And I don't think sometimes coaches even think about that. It's not like, I don't think they even consider that. Yeah, maybe he's been through, his past has been a little tougher when he was a little heavier. And I think that's an important thing for athletes. If you're listening to this, you can talk to your coaches about that. If they're telling you to gain 10, 15 pounds, explain to them your struggles, and then they can kind of relate to you a lot more. And I think that can really be helpful.
That's definitely something that I should have done too as an athlete. Dealing, shout out Coach Lee, but I felt so bad because when they moved me to receiver for a while, I got down to like 225, and then
Yep.
they moved me back to tight end, and they were like, all right, we're going to need you to put back on weight. And I felt so bad because I knew it was going to be a struggle for me. And I think Coach Sleeve knew too. He just knew that I was a guy that liked my abs, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was so much deeper than that. And like, I felt bad, and I almost felt like I was letting him down every single week that I didn't come in 2-3 pounds heavier. You know what I mean? And like, I didn't want him to think it's because I wasn't trying or anything like that. It was bad. And I probably could have benefited from, speaking my mind and being more open with him about it.
Yeah, I think it can just be easier. And it's extremely difficult to talk about anything kind of internally. Sometimes we have struggles internally that are really tough to talk about, just with your parents or significant other, let alone coaches who are results driven. But I think it's really important to sometimes go over your mental health with somebody close to you in the athletics, and that can really help. So, I think that can go for any athletes or just people in the workplace too. If you're working and your boss is demanding something of you, and there's other issues impacting you besides work, try to vocalize it. The more you can talk, the more you can communicate, the better all situations will go.